Take a look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize the God in you.
I recognize the God in you.
Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together.
We come together.
We come together.
Come together.
We come together.
Come together.
In the name of love. We come together.
Come together.
We come together.
Come together.
We come together.
Come together.
In the name of love. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, God loves you and I love you too.
God loves you and I love you too.
Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together.
Come together.
We come together.
Come together.
We come together.
Come together.
In the name of love. We come together.
Come together.
We come together.
Come together.
We come together.
Come together.
In the name of love. Every walk of life.
Every walk of life.
Every creed and color.
Every creed and color.
Kinship we unite.
In kinship we unite.
In honor of the God in each other. Take a look at the person next to you. Say namaste, I bow to you.
Namaste, I bow to you.
Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together.
Come together.
Come together.
Come together.
Come together.
Come together in the name of love.
Come together.
We come together.
We come together.
Come together.
We come together. In the name of love. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love.
1, 2, 3, 4. Spirit, love me now. I'm worthy of this love. I'm gonna let Spirit love me now. I'm worthy of this love. I'm gonna let Spirit love me now. I'm worthy of this love. I'm gonna let Spirit love me now. I'm worthy of this love. Spirit loves me.
Spirit loves me.
I know that.
I know that.
Spirit loves me.
Spirit loves me.
That's a fact.
That's a fact.
Yeah. Gonna let Spirit love me now. I'm worthy of this love. Gonna let Spirit love me now. I'm worthy of this love. When I'm down, I turn to you. When I'm down, you pull me through. Yeah, gonna let Spirit love me now. I'm worthy of this love. Gonna let Spirit love me now. I'm worthy of this love. When I'm down, I'm worthy of this love. I'm worthy of this love. We were having a great time.
Give yourself some love. Love, 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 love. You trying to make us sing another verse. What's up with that? He wasn't ready to stop. You were into the love, right? Yeah, all right then. Good morning. How y'all doing this morning?
Ready to celebrate.
Happy birthday, Ahava.
We're teenagers.
No. 13 years. Thank you so much. Man, I am, and 13 is one of my favorite numbers, so I'm really excited to get into those teen years. For any parents here, you know what the teen years are like, right? So, good morning. My name is Reverend Sonny Cantrell Smith. I'm the founding minister and co-minister with Reverend Rainbow Weldon, who is taking a much-needed vacation. So she's on a sabbatical right now, so we'll see her in about 30 days. But don't fear, everything is taken care of. And we gather every morning to know that Ahava is indeed the Hebrew word for love. So love is indeed what?
Always the answer.
There you go. You always know the answer. If you're joining us on live stream for the very first time, do we have a camera? Is it working? Yes, okay. We are having a little bit of video difficulty this morning, so not to fear. Our really talented crew is working on it, and so we just give them some love and send them some prayer for everything working beautifully. So if you are tuning in for the very first time, or if you're just tuning in, let us know where you're tuning in from. Give us your name and what city. We have got people all over the world watching our broadcast, so I really appreciate that. And make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Our goal right now is 1,000 subscribers. We're over halfway there, so I'm excited about that. And have your friends subscribe as well. If you're in the room if you're here in the room, we encourage you to take out your phone and just, make sure that the sound is off. And if you hear something that you like, put it on Facebook, check in that you're at Ahava, whatever you would like to do, share pictures, inspiration. Nobody's going to come by and take your phone. So you're welcome to just go ahead and do that. Also, if you are joining us for the very first time, if you're a first-time visitor, we would love to acknowledge the fact that you're here because we're changed simply because you're here. And Jean, one of our core council members, is going to come by and give you a gift just for showing up this morning. How often does that happen? Just show up and get a gift. So if you're here for the first time and you're willing to either stand or raise your hand, Jean's going to come by. Do we have any first-time visitors? Yes, there they are. Y'all just took over the whole row, didn't you? Thank you so much for being here. We also recognize that we are a reflection of one another, yes? So please turn to your neighbor this morning, say good morning, and thank them for being a reflection of you. All right, and we also have a vision here, and we really like to affirm this vision on Sunday morning. So please either say with me or repeat after me. We are an inclusive community. Committed to global transformation. Through personal evolution. And our purpose is to... We also have an affirmation this morning. All my relationships reflect my relationship with the universe. So we'd also like to acknowledge all of our SEVA volunteers that without them on Sunday morning, we just simply couldn't do what we do. So all the way from our youth facilitators taking care of all of our youngins in there this morning, and also all our tech people and our people who help in the kitchen and all of that. Let's give them some love, yes? We also have some happenings going on, Taste of Ahava fundraising events, and I think on August 12th, we got some type of blues concert. Do you have to have the blues to be there?
No, but if you have the blues, we'll help you get rid of it.
All right, so tell us what that's about.
We're going to do a Taste of Ahava event. It's going to be a blues concert, and if you like the blues, you know that the blues is the happiest music on earth, and you can't be sad. You can't have the blues when you're listening to the blues. So we're going to invite you all to come out. We're going to dance. We're going to eat. We're going to have a party. So it's not going to be like a Sunday service. So be prepared, okay? We're going to have a blast. So come on out. We got plenty of room. We're going to move some chairs. Don't tell Sonny. We're going to move some chairs. And we're going to dance. We might even put them back when we're done.
Good deal.
August 12th, 6 o'clock.
All right, right here.
Right here.
Okay. And also, after service today, we will be celebrating 13 years with cake. Supposedly, the cake is on its way. If the cake doesn't get here, I don't know. It would be a travesty. So, hey, how about our band? Yes, Joe Chinquina, our music director. Lauren Deckenberg on keyboards. Filling in for John today. Good to see you, buddy. Tim Welsh on drums. Jeff Watts on sound. Justin Norris is our featured vocalist today. And doing our opening prayer, Reverend Cynthia Chinquina. So this is the time of the morning I invite us all to take a nice deep breath together. Really just letting go of the day, the morning, the rain, and dropping down into that heart space as the music takes us within and Cynthia does our prayer. In this place, my soul is free from the life within. I see all the joy, all the peace. Carry me, carry me, carry me, oh, carry me. In this place, love abides. Holy light, surrender me. All the joy, all the peace. Carry me, carry me, carry me. Oh, carry me.
As I anchor into the truth, I know that there is only one. There's only one power, one presence, and one life. And that life is here right now as me and as each individual here, showing up as pure love, as peace, as joy, as knowingness. Today, I bless our time together. I bless this service. I bless our minister, Reverend Sonny, knowing that each word that is spoken will lie upon our ears and on our hearts, knowing that we will hear everything that we need to hear and just be present with that. I bless our musicians as they share their time, talent, and treasures with us as they produce this beautiful, amazing harmony together. I bless all of our volunteers that have come together to make this service possible, and each person that showed up here in person and online, and for those that are yet to watch it in the future. And today I'd also like to include in this prayer everyone that has been affected by the floods in eastern Kentucky. For I know that as one person is affected, it affects us all. That we are all here to love and support each other no matter what. And for this, I allow it to be by saying, and so it is.
All the joy, all the peace, carry me,
Carry me, carry me, oh, carry me. Namaste. Lauren, would you please do our reading?
Yes, this is a vow that was written for actors by writer-director Elia Kazan, and it can be used by all of us as we step onto the metaphorical stage of life. It's called the Actor's Vow. I will take my rightful place on the stage, and I will be myself. I am not a cosmic orphan. I have no reason to be timid. I will respond as I feel, awkwardly, vulgarly, but respond. I will have my throat open. I will have my heart open. I will be vulnerable. I may have anything or everything the world has to offer, but the thing I need most and want most is to be myself. I will admit rejection, admit pain, admit frustration, admit even pettiness, admit shame, admit outrage, admit anything and everything that happens to me. The best and most human parts of me are those that I have inhabited and hidden from the world. I will work on it. I will raise my voice. I will be heard.
If God had a name, what would it be, and would you call it to his face? If you were faced with him in all his glory, what would you ask if you had just one question? And yeah, God is great. Yeah, God is good. God was one of us, just a slob like one of us, just a stranger on a bus, trying to make his way home. If God had a face, what would it look like, and would you want to see? If seeing meant that you would have to believe in things like heaven and in Jesus and the saints and all of the prophets, and yeah, God is great. Yeah, God is good. Yeah. What if God was one of us, just a slob like one of us, just a stranger on a bus, trying to make his way home, trying to make his way home, back up to heaven all alone, nobody calling on the phone, Therefore the Pope may be in Rome. Just trying to make his way home, like a holy rolling stone, back up to heaven all alone. Just trying to make his way home. Nobody calling on the phone, except maybe the Pope in Rome.
Yes. Thank you, band. Let's take a nice deep breath together, knowing that there is something here within these walls, within these hearts, that wants to express itself fully. If God were one of us, if God had a name, God does have a name. It's you and it's me. And it's each and every person within the sound of my voice. Knowing that there is something that wishes to be known this morning. Perhaps it's love that wishes to be expressed and known. To awaken to the magnificence of the living expression of each and every person here this morning. Awakening to our authentic selves, our divinity. A breath of the universe, breathing itself as you and as me. Breathing in and releasing it out, the full expression of continuity and beauty, of giving and receiving, of knowing the totality of spirit. To know that right where you are, spirit is. In its fullness. The divine is in its fullness right where you are. Not just a tiny little bit, because maybe you heard somewhere, sometime in your life that you were a part of God. You are not a part of spirit. Spirit is in, through, and as you right here and right now fully. Never think of yourself as part of spirit. Think of yourself as that divine expression as spirit. The fullness of love as you. That's why you've come here this morning, whether you realize it or not. You've been called to step into that expression and to release anything that would stand in the way of your divinity, of your experience of the light that you are in the world. Give up anything that would interrupt this time in your life when you've been called forward to that expression of light. Because all spiritual growth, hear me when I say, is letting go and surrendering to those old, worn out ideas that perhaps heaven is some far off place that you have to be really good, really good to get to when you die. And I'm here to say that heaven is not some far off place. Heaven is right here, right now. And you are expressing it as that eternal light. Heaven is within. Heaven is not without. And so we're here to let go of all those old, worn out ideas that no longer serve the upliftment, the advancement of the soul, of your soul, of my soul. Because we're not going to be at the mercy of those old ideas any longer. Standing in the power of the truth, knowing that that individualized expression is right here, right now. And you are here to accept your divinity, not reject it. You are here to accept your divinity, not reject it. Breaking free from others' ideas of who you should be and allowing your soul to blossom and expand, which in turn gives life meaning. Boy, oh boy, you know, we've been talking this month about relationships. Who's sailing yours? Reverend Rainbow introduced our theme by talking about loving ourselves, and not in a self-centered, egotistical way, but in a deeply honoring and respectful way, such that we know our value and inherent worth. The kind of love that digs in and stays the course. The kind of love that looks pain in the eye and transforms trauma. The kind of love that is patient and curious and kind and humble and healing. Perhaps we know someone in our lives who practices this. The second week, I ask all of us to consider the idea, if we as individuals and as a country embody the truth that there is one source, then the presence of Spirit as you and as me will bless everyone we come into contact with. We will become alive with love, and this love will heal the idea of separation. And because we realize and embody this truth about separation, about ourselves, every living thing on this planet will come alive with this truth and spring forth as a blessing to all. And the third week, Reverend Rainbow talked about you and me, we make up society. And the relationships that we have with the broader gathering of people is what has created and continues to create societies. For example, Ahava. The agreements we make consciously and those we agree upon by default are what affect and govern how we interact and relate to one another. We all have hidden beliefs. It's up to us to uncover what those are. And last week, our guest speaker, Reverend Peter, talked about the idea that we are all star stuff. We are all star stuff. We are here for the delight of the divine. And not only are we in the universe, but the universe is in us. And one of our most valuable and precious relationships is the one with nature. The aspect of nature that includes rocks and soils and plants and water and animals of the earth itself. If we see nature as that which is out there, we treat it no differently as when we other someone by seeing them as separate and different from us. We are intimately affected by all aspects of nature, but are we consciously in loving relationship with it? So this week, we are wrapping up this wonderful series by talking about the one and only. I was sure they were talking about me when I read that title. But they weren't. The one and only. What the heck does that mean? There is only the divine. The way we relate to ourselves one another, the world, and with the universal power are all interconnected and inseparable. Spirit is all there is. There is nothing that can exist outside of spirits, since there is no outside of the divine. Which means everything and everyone, no matter what the external dualistic appearance might be, is still intimately and wonderfully demonstrating as spirit. This relationship is either discordant or harmonious by our choosing. So what we're really talking about is oneness. And to clarify, oneness does not mean sameness. Boy, did this topic bring up a lot of questions for me, as anyone who was here for that talk I did previously. It has really, this whole series has really brought up a lot of deep contemplation. For example, some of the questions I'm asking myself is, if the divine experiences life as me, does this mean that all my experiences are holy? Can there really be a distinction between the sacred, the mundane, and the profane? The holy, the non-holy, or unholy? If there is only spirit, then the question becomes, if I call this person or event unholy or profane, in what ways are the creative principles of the law of the universe being used to demonstrate such an experience, and what truth, what healing is being called forth right now? If the divine is ever present as the presence of all that is, and the mind that is being used by each individualized incarnation is no less the one mind, then our relationship to our thoughts and our thoughts about the world are a direct reflection of our relationship with Spirit, with the divine. In other words, how we treat ourselves and others is how we view the divine. It's what we think about God, or whatever you want to call it, because God is just a word, right? So let me break this down. It all comes down to oneness. Sigrid Ellis, an author that I often read, writes the following: I heard a thing on a podcast this weekend, how Americans are really good at acute compassion, but pretty bad at chronic empathy. We, without question, haul strangers out of a raging flood, give blood, give food, and give shelter. But we are lousy at legislating safe, sustainable communities, at elder care, at accessible streets and buildings. It is the long work that makes the disasters less damaging. But we don't want to give to the needy, we want to save the endangered. We don't like being care workers, we want to be heroes. The world does not need more heroes. The world needs more care. Now, I want to add some of my thoughts to this piece of writing. First, I find it strange that we have to have a tragedy in order to let go, if just for a few moments or days, all of the things that keep us from understanding the depth to which we belong to each other. I think that this is the tragedy of oneness. Let me break it down even more. Why does tragedy bring together groups of people whose beliefs are in opposite to one another, bringing them together in a common goal, that being in this moment, the floods of Kentucky, my whole family is from Eastern Kentucky, from Northeastern Kentucky, but their beliefs and my beliefs are not the same. So how does this work? In the moment, we all forget what we believe. What happens to our innate makeup that temporarily allows us to set aside all hate and prejudice in order to save someone else, to save another, who now is not the other, but is another. And once the tragedy is well in hand, we easily return to those beliefs of separation. If you think about it, the beliefs we hold dear and the choices we make will affect everyone we come into contact with, whether we realize it or not. And if we're living with an inability to love who we are, we cannot truly appreciate others. And the consequences of not loving ourselves is we make decisions from that belief. In turn, we allow irrational fears to ferment in our unconscious mind. Even when you try to suppress your fears, those fears, they still influence your life. And no matter how deep those fears are pushed down, they are always there, gnawing at the back of your mind. And because of it, you might be attracted to communities that reinforce and support your fears. I know my family was. Dr. Ernest Holmes, the founder of Science of Mind, tells us that we are living in a universe on this day, in this moment, and our lives can be as new as we want our community to be. We are one with a spiritual reality that only knows continued growth and unfolding. It only knows endless progress and evolution. If we're always on an upward spiral, then there is a great healing that is being called forth right now in our world, everywhere in our world. This is the deepest truth of every community, and it is the deepest of truths for all of us. And if we forget this basic principle of life, we block our own reality, our community's reality, and our visions, our purpose, and our goals. We forget that we're here to have all of life, to embody it fully, all of the goodness and the grace, and to live it more abundantly. And I might add, to love ourselves and to love one another. And that's why communities like Ahava are so important to the world. Because together, we can accomplish so much more than we could alone. We can stand for so much more than we could alone. We can be so much more, supporting a vision of unity by practicing unity. As we celebrate 13 years together, we can all recommit ourselves to love and compassion and service together, to do good in the world, to take it from these walls, this healing that happens every Sunday, and take it out beyond. I think that life itself stops having meaning when we forget to value others who are important in our lives. People who contribute to our lives. Think about it. Even the ones who don't contribute, because there is value in these relationships as well. Life stops having meaning when we lose sight of compassion. When we lose sight of compassion for others. When we forget that we all belong. When we stop loving. When we stop growing and asking the questions, why do we have to have a tragedy to jumpstart our loving of one another again? Imagine what you could do if you just stop worrying and talking about giving your life meaning and you just did something about it. Imagine if you stopped talking about what was missing and started looking at all you have. Imagine how your life would change if you saw a void in your community and you found a way to fill it. Imagine what could happen if you stopped putting your life off and said, why not now? Why not now? Think about this. We have touched countless lives by simply being here. Accepting when some communities are rejecting. Embracing where others are hating. Creating a home for those who have been disowned. Open arms, open heart, open doors. As Reverend Peter Morales wrote, as we come together, we must also recommit ourselves to addressing the deep divisions and injustices in our world that give rise to violence. Hatred and violence spring from fear and pain and anger. Let us first come together in peace to stop the killings. That, however, my beloved community, is just the beginning. We must build a world where violence and hatred cannot take root. Only love and forgiveness can guide us on that journey. I'm so proud of the work that we continue to do here. This community, and don't ever forget it, is a beacon of light that we all hold dear in our hearts. May we continue to shine for years and years and years to come. Happy birthday. Job well done. Let's go into prayer. Standing in the power of the One, standing in the power of the source of all, standing in the truth and the knowingness that indeed there is only one mind, one source, one infinite creative power creating out of itself every minute, every second of every day, never diminished by its creation, expanding, ever moving. I know this power and presence as no thing, but I know it as everything. I know it as love. I know it as abundance and prosperity and joy. I know it as grace and belonging. I know it as power, the infinite wisdom, life, eternal. And as I know this to be the truth of the one power and presence, I know indeed that it is the truth as me, and as each and every individual within the sound of my voice. And so it is from this truth where I lie upon the altar of love, speaking this word for this community, celebrating its love, celebrating its open doors, and creating a world that works for everyone, celebrating the life of each and every hand and heart, each and every song, each and every joy that has been experienced. Standing in the power and the presence and celebrating change and all the changes, all the people in and through the doors, all the souls seeking to be loved once again. How magnificent. Knowing that everything has unfolded and continues to unfold through this beautiful grace, through this perfect manifestation of the one, whether it's individualized or it is as a community, with all these individualized lives coming together to create this spectacular and magnificent Ahava Center for Spiritual Living. How beautiful and amazing to know that our lives are transformed every Sunday. How amazing to know that we transcend anything that would stand in the way of this beauty and this love. And we continue to stand in the truth that love is indeed always the answer. Whether it's raining or shining, whether it's cold or dark or light, and no matter what is happening in the world, standing firm that love is always the answer. How blessed we are to be together. How blessed we are to know that everything is in divine order, unfolding beautifully and magnificently. I give thanks to know this truth. I give thanks to speak my word for this community and for all. As I release my word into that perfect universal law, knowing that the law always says yes. It always says yes. It always says yes. Standing in the place of grace. Shalom, hamdalela, ashe, namaste. This prayer is done. I leave it knowing it is so. And so it is. Amen. Amen.
We let the love wash over us. We let it be.
And we let the joy,
We let the joy wash over us. We let it be.
let the peace,
We let the peace wash
Now, before you sit down, turn to your neighbor and say, Happy birthday. All right. This is the time of the morning for our offering when I invite you all to take your gift, your tithe, your offering. I want to say a special thanks to Jennifer Epperly, the executive director of ITNB, the organization that we had selected this month for our nonprofit. For those who don't know, every month we select a nonprofit, and all the money that comes in today, we dedicate 10% to them, and we send them a check. And she has graciously stepped aside until next month so that we can use the flood victims for all of those individuals that have been affected by the flood. We're working with the governor's office, and we will be sending a tithe check to them. So give generously, and know that your money goes from here to there to help all of those families. So I invite you to take your gift, your tithe, your offering. You can certainly give to 859-209-6996. You can write a check. You can go to our website. There's tremendous ways to give. So we really appreciate all of your contributions, especially this month. So please repeat after me. Divine love as me.
Divine love as me.
Blesses and multiplies all that I have.
Blesses and multiplies all that I have.
All that I give.
All that I give.
And all that I receive.
And all that I receive.
I joyously contribute to the vision of Ahava.
I joyously contribute to the vision of Ahava.
Knowing it returns to me multiplied abundantly.
Knowing it returns to me multiplied abundantly.
And so it is.
Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 Grateful.
Hey, oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 yeah. I'm taking my freedom, pulling it off the shelf, putting it on my chain. I'm wearing it around my neck. I'm taking my own freedom, putting it in my car. Wherever I choose to go, it will take me far. I'm living my life like it's golden, 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 golden, life like it's golden, living my 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 life like it's golden, golden. I'm taking my own freedom, putting putting it in my song, singing loud and strong, moving all day long. I'm taking my freedom, putting it in my stroll. I'll be high stepping y'all, and the joy unfold. I'm living my life like it's golden, living my life like it's like it's golden, living my life like it's golden, living my life like it's golden, golden, living my life like it's like it's golden, living my life like it's golden, living my life like it's golden, golden. I'm holding on to my freedom, can't take it from me. I was born into it, it comes naturally. I'm taking my own freedom, playing the God in me, representing the glory. Hope you're proud of me. Living my life like it's golden, 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 golden, golden. Said I'm living my life like it's golden, 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 golden. Living my life like it's golden, 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 golden, living my life like it's living my life like it's golden, like it's golden, living my life like it's golden, golden, living my life like it's 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 golden, golden.
We love you, you're a shining star, wonderful, just the way you are.
We celebrate your sacred face. We love
you just the way you are. We love you
Just the way you are.
we do. I thought, here you go. Never mind.
So we learned about, what we learned about today, guys? Yeah, let's say our affirmation. Ready? I am aloha.
So the spirit of aloha, the literal meaning of aloha is the presence of breath. Aloha is a way of living and treating each other with love and respect. Its deep meaning starts by teaching ourselves to love our own beings first and afterwards to spread the love to others. Aloha is sending and receiving a positive energy. Aloha is living in harmony. When you live the spirit of aloha, you create positive feelings and thoughts, which are never gone. They exist in space, multiply, and spread over to others.
All right, so we have a special little song we want to sing for you. If you can more get the ukulele, that'd be good.
Oh, this is great.
Okay, ready? Remy, look forward. Look out at your parents.
One fond embrace, our holy
love our children. We love our youth. Thank you, youth facilitators. Yes, give them some love. Thank you. You never know when I'm going to need that. So don't forget that after service, do we have cake back there? Does anybody know? I guess we'll discover. Anyway, I invite you to maybe have cake after service. I think it's back there, but I don't know for sure, to celebrate your contributions to this community and celebrate with one another. And I think that's it. Anything else? No? Yes? Is everybody happy today? Yes. Yay. All right, so let's stand and do our benediction, and I think we have a special song to sing out to. All right, great. Something wonderful is happening to me right now.
Something wonderful is happening to me right now.
It is this thing called life.
It is this thing called life.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in my body.
Life is in my body.
Life is in my cake.
Life is in my cake.
And life is in my affairs.
And life is in my affairs.
I accept it.
I accept it.
I am it.
I am it.
I share it.
I share it.
Just the way it appears.
Just the way it appears.
And just the way it appears not.
And just the way it appears not.
Thank you, life.
Thank you, life.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Say it's your birthday. You know this, come on. Say it's your birthday. We're gonna have a good time. I'm glad it's your birthday. Happy birthday to you. We want to thank you all for coming out today and for watching online. As always, make good trouble and stay for the cake. We'll meet you back there. It's your birthday. It's my birthday too, yeah. Say it's your birthday. We're gonna have a good time. I'm glad it's your birthday.